It took me, I think, about 2 to 3 years to finally learn this lesson that I want to share with you guys today. For a long time, I've been building businesses. By businesses, I don't mean like I've been building like 10 businesses at the same time, or, building multi-million dollar. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I have been trying to get my hands dirty with entrepreneurship, with business, just because I really love it. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Tiga. I'm 22 years old. I finished from school about a month ago, and I'm currently documenting my journey to financial freedom and living a life that I'm really proud of. But then, specifically for the next 100 days, I'm documenting my journey to growing my business from zero, or building a business from zero to 2 million naira. I'm just sharing the raw stuff. In fact, I just had this idea now, a lesson that I've learned in like being really thick in building and in working, and I'm only just realizing it now. All right, I've had like bits and pieces of realizations of this in the past, but I'm only just realizing it now. And it's that you can't do everything at the same time. And I know that sounds obvious, but just stay with me if you will. So I read this book, I think 2 years ago, and it's one of the best books I have read in my life. It sort of like changed how I went about things, how I went about setting goals, and all the rest. And it's the 12-week year by Brian Moran, and he basically talks about how we should stop setting annual goals. If you know me, you know that I no longer set like 2026 goals, 2027 goals, etc. Stop saying annual goals. I mean, you can at a high level, but then really what you want to do is set goals for the next 3 months, the next 12 weeks. And the reason is because a year is too long a time, and it's so long that we many times fall into the trap of not staying consistent, simply because, oh, okay, if January doesn't go well, you have February, you have March, you have April, etc. But with 3 months, 3 months is a short time for you to actually focus on the things that you want to do, right? For you to actually like make progress, because you know that you don't have time. And the idea is that you're treating 12 weeks as though it were 12 months. So in a sense, 1 week is like 1 month, you get. So I know. And then one of his golden principles in the book is how you shouldn't work on 10 things at the same time, 8 things. In fact, he gives a strict rule that you can only choose 1 to 3 things to work on for the next 12 weeks. And that's the rule that I have been following, right, for the past 2 years now. But then I found sort of like a way to trickle in some other things. So what I mean by that is, if one of my goals is to build my business to, maybe at the time I was trying to grow it to 1 million, what I would do is now itemize the different areas of income that I want to like get that to go from. So if the goal is to get to 1 million, okay, so maybe I have a community here, maybe I have this digital product here, maybe I have like one-on-one consultations, and I'll put all these things together like, oh, okay, I plan to make money from here, from here, from here, and all together that makes 1 million. And especially when you're in, I'm not saying that's impossible, because I mean, you have different people that build multiple businesses. Like this guy that I'm watching, Sean, right, like has at least 2 major businesses that I am aware of, and I'm sure he probably has more invested in and built. So it's not like it's impossible, but then especially when you're starting out and you're just in the trenches, you're just deep in the trenches, trying to get your hands dirty, trying to find proof of concept, trying to find the things that work, it makes sense to focus on one thing. So shifting away from what Brian Moran even teaches, not 1 to 3 things, just one thing, and focus on that. And our minds, especially if you're ambitious, so these are people that I'm actually referring to, talking to now. You're ambitious, you're a builder, you're someone that likes to, you're really creative with the work that you do, with things that you think about, how your mind works, things that you want to do, and all the rest. You're just like inherently, um, I don't want to say inherently an entrepreneur, because that's like generic. So that's not even what I'm talking about. Like, you're inherently ambitious and just go after stuff. We want to do a lot of things at once, right? Want to do a lot of things at once. And we're just usually over optimistic. I made a video on my Instagram why creative people probably will never make progress in life. Of course, I was just trying to like, it's a hook, but then I think it's true. The reason why I love creative people will stay stuck is because we can't sit on a particular thing for a long period of time. Our minds are always jumping, right? Okay, so we get this new idea. So for us, it's not even that we're lazy. It's not even that we can't do the work. It's just there's always something new coming up. There's always a new idea. There's always something different that we want to do, simply because our minds can fathom what that expression of the particular thing will look like. You get. So you stay in that rut of starting new things. But then you realize that the only way to make real progress is by giving a particular thing a long period of time. So really, at the end of the day, it's not about how wide, it's about how deep. How deep can you go in a particular skill, a craft, a business, and all the rest. And I've been thinking about that a lot. Now with my business, I have different areas or things that I've built on the side that were making money and I wanted to scale. And I was saying, oh, okay, all of these things are eventually going to get me to this particular goal. But then I literally just had a realization now, hence why I picked up my camera. I've been like just documenting lessons that I've been learning in my journey. And so far, I think I've had a couple. So far, I think I've written down a good amount of things that I have learned. Let me just check. I think I've written down a couple things that I've learned so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things that I've learned so far, and this is just one of the lessons in that. Right? I don't think I'm going to be doing one video for all of them, Sha. I don't know. Or but the plan eventually was to do like a video where I'll just talk about all the lessons that I'm learning on my journey and what is that I'm doing. That's why I just like picked up the camera to make this, cause I don't know who needs to hear this, but then just pick one thing and go all in on it, because you find out that you'll be able to make a lot more progress there, and the money that you probably thought you needed those other sources of income from to make up like your entire goal, right, is not necessarily, you find that you may not need that, because this one thing, if you just focus on it for a long period of time and really go deep on it, get really good at your craft, get really good at your skill, would probably make you a lot more money than all of those other things combined. So I mean that's what I'm currently learning now, and I say I'm still learning it because it's something that I've been thinking about for a little while. And then for us, it's so difficult to let go of stuff, right? It's so difficult to like let go of businesses and like but it's not like people have said this thing has failed. So so but you realize that if you want to really make progress, especially if you want to make progress on everything, you have to do one thing, and then after that one thing, it's like, so it's a question I even used to ask myself, and it's funny how I'm just like internalizing it properly now, and I'm sure I've not even internalized it fully yet. It's what's the one thing that I can make progress in that would make all the other things a lot easier to achieve? It's a question I ask myself a lot, right? And that's like a framework that I used to decide which goals are worth working on. Now, what's that thing? And I think that's just how I'm thinking about things now, right? So I'm still learning. So it's difficult to like say I want to quit certain businesses or stop it, put it on hold for now. It's difficult because these are things that I built properly with like sweats, with a lot of effort and intentionality. But then I think it's okay. I think it makes sense. I think it's fine, right? So that's what I'm currently doing now. And of course, like you guys know, I'm documenting my journey. I've like put out, this is my 3rd video that I've put out in like this, I don't want to say series, but then I'm not editing any of these things, like I'm just putting it out like that. So and this is just like my raw documentation. Surprisingly, they are doing well, which is nice, right? But I mean, if they are not, it doesn't really matter because I'm documenting for myself, hence why I'm just like doing all of these things. But yeah, if I wanted to ask this in the last video, if there are things that you want me to share about my journey, right, like put in the comment section. I'm still trying to think of different angles that I can give you guys, right? Because the first video I talked about like how I failed, like I set a goal for school, like when I was going to be done with school, I set a goal that I wanted to achieve, but then I failed that. And then the second video I made last week, or I think I put it out on Sunday, so this week, was about like my 6-step framework for how I want to go from 0 to 2 million naira. Right, so this is the video I'm putting out. So I'm still trying to think of different angles. So just let me know in the comments, what would you like to see? What would you like to hear? What do you want to know about what it is I'm working on? I don't know, anything really, and then we'll see if we can turn that into a video. But yeah, this is a lesson that I'm currently learning. And for anyone that's currently getting their hands dirty, trying to make something out of nothing, proof of concepts, just trying to build like some sort of empire or business, I think this would really, really go a long way, like locking on just one thing for a long period of time. I've given myself 100 days, and my rule is simple. In that time, I can't complain that I'm not making progress. Of course, I can come and complain to you guys. What I mean is, like, I can't beat myself up or like, oh, okay, Tiga, why you not, like, I can't, because it's 100 days, right? 2, I can't add any new thing to it. I can't like say, okay, I want to put this on pause and start doing AI automation. I can't do that. it's this. Of course, I can make small iterations here and there, and which makes sense because I don't know everything now. And as I'm testing stuff, putting new stuff out, so I can make these iterations, and that's okay. But then I can't start something from scratch, add a new business, get a new idea. Any new idea goes into Claude, refine it, and it goes into my idea bank. Simple and short. But yeah, I think it's such a powerful lesson that I am still internalizing, and I just thought to share with you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.